Hey YouTube, I'm back with my birthday look tutorial. Now, I've already applied my foundation. It's pretty much light coverage because it's just a powder. This is Mary Kay's 708, and as you can tell, I've used quite a bit of it. Um, my review on the foundation itself, I'm looking for something that would actually look a lot more natural. Even though it's a powder, sometimes I still have the oily feeling, so I'm actually looking forward to trying a different foundation. I don't know, maybe I'll just pinch pennies and one day get a chance to try MAC. So I don't know what the future's gonna hold for that one, but before I get started on my makeup, I always want to have a cleansed face, and since my objective was going to remove excess oil because I have combination to oily skin, I here it is. I actually took this Mary Kay Blemish Control Toner, Formula 3, and now this has 2% salicylic acid, and I guess it also has acne medication inside, and once again, this is something else that I have to refill. It's about right here now. And I would take a cotton round and actually apply it to my face, and it will take off the oil and it'll be nice and clean, but you don't want to just be barefaced like that because it leaves it susceptible to UVA and UVB rays. So I will follow up with this Equate Complete Beauty Lotion that contains a SPF of 15. Now, this is actually compared to the oil of Olay, and since I've been using it, I have been noticing that my face is tightening up. When I first started doing these videos, or when I first got into makeup, I really had to use a heavier type of coverage, more along the lines of it had to be a liquid makeup. Now, since I've been using this, even though it's not the name brand, it is compared to oil of Olay, I've noticed taking care of my skin, taking care of my body, drinking water, it's causing my face to clear up a lot more and allow me to where I can get away with not as much coverage. So the little history lesson there. Getting into the birthday look, I really wanted something more natural just because it's not like I was having a huge party. I was basically going out to go catch a movie and maybe go out to dinner, and that was my main objective. So without all the storytelling, I guess I'll go ahead and get into it. So like I said before, I took a face brush or a little buffer brush and I lightly applied the Mary Kay in 708 and any concealer that I needed to have, which I've noticed I haven't had to use concealer nearly as much as I used to. And if I wanted to do some contouring, like around the outside of the bridge of my nose or around the jawline, what I'll actually grab, let's see if I can cover up this mirror, is from my Estee Lauder palette. I can never get that word right. But the color is number 66 in Bronze Cube. And I don't know, I can't remember if I've mentioned this before in other videos, but I know with a lot of Estee Lauder colors, they don't tend to really show up that well. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and swatch this. And this is Berry Ice, but I'm not even sure if it will show up on camera because it barely shows up on me in person. And I know with a lot of their colors, I actually have to wind up foiling them. So now I just use the darker colors if I just want to contour, if I want to add definition or anything else. But what I mainly did, and it's fairly simple, I took this Revlon Eye Glide in the color Nude. Basically, it's a cream shadow. Let me grab this mirror again. And I like the applicator tip because you just twist a little bit up. And this is going to be my base. It's champagne colored, so I like to bring it up to the brow bone and lightly blend this in. And that way, if you get too much on, you could bring it over to this eye. Let's see if I can get better light over here. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to cut you guys off. And if you're wondering what that music is, my brother, he's actually practicing for his chorus concert. He and I were both in chorus, so I don't mind it at all. But it's Christmas music. For those of you chorus students out there, it's actually Erev Shoshanim. And it was very coincidental because we did the same song, but when I learned this song, I was actually attending a different school, so I guess you're like, well, that's not that big of a surprise, but you know, we're 6 years apart and we were at completely different schools and we wound up doing the same piece of music. It's not like it's a well-known song like Joy to the World, and even that song has many variations. But getting back to the tutorial, since it is a cream shadow base, it's going to give that shimmer, but it's still going to be slightly damp for a little bit. So while it's still damp, I'm going to take the bronze cube and pop that into the corner to give me some definition. So you don't want to go too heavy with this. And if you'd like, you can go back over with a lighter color. I'm using the Honey Drop. And I'm just going to dab just a little bit on the ball of the eye and blend that. So you see, very nude eye, very complementary to my skin tone. And for the highlight, even though I had the Revlon cream shadow, if I just really want to, very lightly take some of that Honey Drop, hit underneath that brow bone, and blend. This is probably one of the few times I would recommend the Estee Lauder palette, just because it goes on so lightly that you don't have to worry about overdoing it. Okay? Very easy. To line it, just because I don't want it too harsh, I'm actually going to use a black eyeshadow. And this is from the e.l.f. palette. If you remember, it's the palette I used when I created my Yin versus Yang mask. And very lightly, because you do want this to be more natural, you're going to line your eye. Now, being that these are neutral colors, I am hoping this is going to show up on camera. If not, I'm just going to have to find a way to integrate these pictures in, because since I'm using a digital camera to record my videos, I can't just pause and really edit and add pictures in, and that's why a lot of my videos have been 2-part, 3-part, but seeing that this is going to be more of a natural look, I am hoping I can get this in before the 10 minutes are up. If not, there will be a part 2. So very lightly. Take a black mascara. This is from Mary Kay. Very lightly coat your lashes. You want to obtain that natural look. Lightly get your lower lashes. And I'll step closer into the camera so you can see it, just in case it's just not showing up that well. Okay, I have Mary Kay's blush in Brick. Now, this is a good example of things you could find if you really want to find